Hello, mindful friends. As many of you Coloradans know, our state is suffering right now with these wildfires and prohibitive smoke and air quality. It's really difficult to watch our state struggle, watch our friends struggle, watch our natural world struggle. And so we're going to talk about how mindfulness can support us in these times. And it's very easy. I know, even for myself, I look at my phone throughout the day and I'm constantly getting reminders and looking for information as to what's happening with the wildfires and our local populations and how they're being affected, which is a necessity, right? Especially when our safety is involved, when these wildfires affect us and evacuation orders and such. And we need to recognize how much that is constantly triggering us and adding to our fear, adding to our despair and our sadness and grief. And so at the same time, balancing that, supporting that, and making sure we're taking care of ourselves and not simply fully engulfing ourselves in the negative information, looking at what we really know is important for safety, and then disengaging from the rest. It does not help us to scroll through and listen to and read every single person's story and opinion on these matters. That look at what is necessary and then disengage, and making sure we're spending time also in our own self-care practices that keep us well in the ways that we can. So I was using my mindfulness this week to send loving kindness to everybody who's being affected and all the living beings that are being affected, the natural world that's being affected, and even, the non-living elements, just everything that makes up this miraculous world of ours. And that in those times when I am not engaging with the negative despair stories, I'm trying really hard to cultivate those feelings of love and compassion and sending out that kindness. They have done research and, of course, have found that the biggest remedy for despair and depression is action. So taking some kind of positive action, which means whatever you can do to offer help to somebody else or offer care to the natural world, or, even I believe in these ways of engaging in these loving kindness meditations, you're actively feeding the good. And so we can get really stuck in this feeling of being powerless to do anything, but finding the little ways that we can do good. Making sure we reach out, even if it's not people affected just by the fire. But I think these times definitely remind us how much support the world needs, how much support that we all need. And so proactively engaging in things that create good in the world, and that also generate that good and healing within ourselves. So making sure, like I said, it's so easy to get sucked in, just watch newsreel after newsreel. I just spent like 5 minutes doing that and recognized really quickly that most of them share the same information, aren't adding any more, and are just talking in these tones of voices that add to the distress and the worry. So again, making sure you spend the majority of your time in the practices that bring you peace, bring you healing, bring you well-being, connect you in love with others and the earth around you. The other thing that I have been engaging in is allowing myself to feel. I think a lot of us in these times of fear or tragedy, or, when things just feel too large, we can have ways of disengaging or distracting or coping. And I believe that that keeps us from being able to heal things, from really being able to understand what's needed within us and within the world. So I think that's what creates this cycle of, yeah, things are difficult on our planet and we feel powerless. And so we just keep contributing, we just keep going out and partying and drinking and going about our business. And this is a way of sticking our heads in the sand, right? It's not like the engaging in the practices that do good. It's not like the feeding the loving kindness. That's proactively generating those energies that counteract the negative. But what I'm talking about here are the ways that we just kind of ignore, keep going about life like there's nothing wrong. And so giving ourselves time to really engage with, feel, and recognize what's happening within us and around us allows us to then process, kind of integrate, and eventually transform these difficult emotions that we're feeling. And so I did this last night. I had a good cry. Right? We recognize, we have empathy for and compassion for like the lives that were lost in one of these fires. We recognize the loss that's happening and had a good cry for the wildlife, had a good cry for the fact that Ure is, one of my heavens here on earth, and right now it's being destroyed by fire. And so allowing myself to recognize and sit with these emotions that I'm having around these losses and these tragedies and what's happening. And this allows the experience to be heard. It allows it to fully integrate and that we can be with it, right? Not just ignoring it. Because if we don't look, right, it's still there in the back of our mind, affecting us, affecting how we interact with others, creating fear responses. So if we take the time, use our mindfulness in our practice to do, like Tara Brach's practice of rain is great for this, recognizing the emotions we're feeling, allowing them to be there, let them release, and then go through the process of what are you needing, what are you feeling right now. And I think this is what allows these experiences to be transformative so that they really feel heard. We're really paying attention. That I do believe our world, we need to develop ways pay attention and wake up. And we can't do that if we don't allow ourselves to feel. So taking some time to just sit with what you're feeling in these times. We're all feeling something. This is affecting us all. This is our beloved state. And so journal it out, paint it out, sing it out. Do things that help these emotions express themselves and be heard. And then this, this love for the earth, the compassion for the earth, the kindness that we're wanting to generate, all of this then helps us to bring positive healing energies to these experiences, to feel like there can be transformative energy in what's happening, and that there is potential for this to move us forward in collectively healing ways, trying to support each other more and our world more. So letting that feed the hope within us as well, and the belief that transformation is still possible in the ways that we can still do it. So this week, I'm sending all of you loving kindness and everything each one of you is going through. I know it's affecting us all, and this smoke is hard to live with. So sending you all love and kindness. Of course, reach out if you need support, and take care of yourselves and your emotions and others' emotions, giving them spaces to feel things as well. Us feeling it gives permission to others to also recognize the suffering that they're going through. And so collectively supporting one another and going towards healing. My next class series coming up starts July 14th, and it's on helping us develop a self-guided meditation practice. So reminding ourselves what it means to meditate, what we should be kind of experiencing in that, and not having too many expectations for ourselves or these judgments that we're doing it wrong, and some tools that can support us in that, so that we don't always have to use a phone or an app to engage in our practices. And I will be offering another Intro to Mindfulness series starting in August, so watch for that as well. And I hope to see you all very soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.